everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hanan, and if you're new here, welcome back. In today's video I will be doing I will be explaining the S1 module. This video will be the third explanation, and this time will be the guided reading. This is like most requested modules because it is kind of hard and complicated to understand, especially at university, which is another level of studies. That's why we decided to explain that for you, because I feel you and I care about you and you interest me. So but before telling you how to revise for the exam, and before telling you what are the tricks that you should know to pass the exam, I will tell you the definition of guided reading in the first semester. Okay, without further ado, let's get into the video. First of all, what is guided reading? Guided reading is a module based on literature. Like, you study everything about literature, and what I mean with literature, I mean short stories, novels, novellas, poems, and stuff like this. So guided reading is mostly all about how to analyze poems, how to analyze stories, fiction, how to know the difference between analyzing a story or a fiction and analyzing a poetry. So that's guided reading. Like, you study literature, you study well-known writers like Shakespeare or Catherine Mansfield or Anjo Marvel, or I don't know. There is a lot of famous writers, for example Virginia Woolf. So you study all of these writers, which is basically they are the base of literature. They are, for example, Shakespeare is so famous in literature. So this is guided reading for those who doesn't know even what you study in this module. Okay, so now I will give you some tricks that I follow so that I can pass the exam. How to revise guided reading, or how could I revise guided reading? Is it by reading every single story? Is it by reading every single poem? Actually no, you just have to read and revise the things or the pieces of literature that you study at the lecture or at the class. For example, there is some stories that you will study or you have just studied. There is some poems that you have just studied in your class. Those stories or those poems that which will be in the exam. ما غتلقاو زعما شي حاجه weird. غتلقاو كاع داكشي اللي قريتو poems، قريتو short stories، قريتو novels. هادشي كامل اللي قريتو هو اللي خاصكم تركزوا عليه. كيفاش نركزوا عليه وكيفاش نراجعوه؟ first of all بالنسبه للقصص الفيكشنز سواء كانوا short stories، novels ولا novellas، خاصكم ديروا لهم واحد summary، واحد التلخيص اللي تكونوا فاهمين فيه يعني the plot, the events, the main characters, القصص خاصكم تكونوا عارفين فيهم الموضوع، علاش كيهضروا هاد القصص، الشخصيات الرئيسيه، الزمان، المكان والموضوع. اوكي and the themes also، يعني الحق الدلالي. هاد القصه شنو فيها؟ كاين فيها الحزن، كاين فيها الفرح، كاين فيها الموت، كاين فيها الحقوق الدلاليه حتى هما مهمين. Okay, alright, so as I said, for the poems is another thing. You just have for the poems to read them, to know what's the message behind the poems. I will give you some examples of some poems that you have. For example, Sonnet 18 by William Shakespeare. In this sonnet, you just have to know things like this, okay? Like that. In this sonnet, the poem or Shakespeare is starting with a rhetorical question in which he is comparing his beloved to a summer's day, okay? تقولوا مثلا علاش كتهضر هاد القصه. For example, in sonnet 146. In this sonnet, it's I think it's a Shakespearean poem also. In this sonnet, William Shakespeare is addressing to his soul, his sinful earth. He is focusing on his soul, rather than his outer appearance. Okay, so you just have to know an idea about the poem. Also, you just not you just, but you have to خاصكم ديروا واحد also like a summary، ديروا واحد التلخيص ديال كل قصيدة علاش كتهضر وشنو الميساج اللي موراها. اوكي. also another thing، ما تخلطوش بين كتاب وبين poems، بين الauthors وبين poets. اوكي. الكتاب ديال القصص عرفوا كل قصة الكاتب ديالها، وبالنسبة you know الpoems عرفوا كل قصيدة شعرية للكاتب ديالها. اوكي، ما تخلطوش بيناتهم. صافي هادشي اللي خاصكم تعرفوا، ديروا واحد التلخيص للقصة. وبالنسبة للpoetry you just have to know analysis يكون بسيط. اوكي، ما يكونش complicated analysis of course. اوكي. المهم that's it for today's video. I hope you like it, and trying my best to explain to you things that even the teacher or the professor at class he or she doesn't tell you these things, which is bad unfortunately. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time inshallah in another video. Peace. Also another thing that's like a lot of people asked me here، نعطيهم exam يعني نعطيهم example ديال شي exams ديال guided reading. Okay, I will insert in this video some examples so that you can have a clue or you can have an idea about guided reading exams. Okay, yes, that's it.